Hello, engineering students. This is your crash course in learning about how to design for the laser cutter. So on your desktop, you should have the software called Inkscape. I'm going to go ahead and double click that to open it up. And a menu should pop up where you can see time to draw, quick setup, show this every time, etc. If you click on quick setup, what we want our appearance to be classic Inkscape. And you can have dark mode on or off. I like it off. And we're going to leave all of that other stuff alone. Click save, click thanks, and then click new document. Inkscape should open up. And hang on a second, let me adjust my screen. So yours might look way different than mine, but hopefully with switching to the classic, it looks similar. I have made my icons a little larger to make it easier to see. But on the left side, you're going to have all of your tools. So for example, if you hover over a tool, like this tool, the node tool, that should match up. Like the order of these should match up. So don't get too stuck on, the size of the icons that I have here. I can show you actually how to adjust that. Let's go into edit preferences. Yeah, if you really wanted to match my screen the way I'm doing it, then what you're going to go to toolbars in interface, and right here you can change the toolbox icon size. I changed that to 150. And my control bar icon size is also 150. Now you should see all of those adjust in real time, so you can see that the further right on the slider, the larger the icons get. It's just a little easier to see when they're at 150 or even a little larger. Yeah. Okay. Once you are happy with that, let's go to the tools menu. Click on pen tool, make sure that it's on last style used. And pencil tool, same with that. Text tool, yep, last used style. And then you're good. You can close that out. When we're designing for the laser cutter, our very first step is to change our document size. So click on File, Document Properties, and you should see a menu that pops up like this. Your units, you're going to want to switch it to inches and inches on both of these. Your width, that's going to be 24, and your height is going to be 12. Then click the X here, and you should see kind of a white space here. What we're going to do is we're going to move to the right side, and I believe it's this one, zoom page. Yep. And that'll show you your 12 by 24 drawing space, your workspace. That's the size of the laser bed of our classroom. We have the universal laser, the 60-watt laser, that big red machine in the middle back of the classroom. That's the laser cut size. Now, just because we have the 12 by 24 bed, it doesn't mean that we actually always have 12 by 24 material. And what do I mean by that? Some of the wood stock that we have is much smaller than 12 by 24. And you'll have to design in the 12 by 24 workspace because sending it to the laser, it needs to know where you're placing the graphics. So it's always best to work in the upper left corner whenever you're creating graphics. You should, at the end, once you're done, you can move it to the top left. But you can design anywhere on this workspace. Anything outside in the gray area, it won't be seen by the lasers. So make sure that you're designing inside of the workspace, the white space that you see here. For this very first lesson, we're going to do a pretty in-depth crash course of what you can do with the laser. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a photo, put the photo into the workspace, and then put an outline on the photo that would be cut with the laser. So for example, Let's go to, where is it? So here we go. Um, let's just look up a character. So you saw I looked up SpongeBob. Now keep in mind the laser is like a single color printer. It can only burn, it can't actually color, right? So whatever material you're cutting in or burning or engraving, that's the color of what it's going to be. So the goal of this lesson is not to find anything too complicated. We want to try to keep it as simple as possible. And the end goal, I don't know if I said it yet, with this lesson, I want you to be able to create your own coaster. So think of a character and then search for the character and follow these steps exactly. So I'm going to, let me click back on here. I'm going to find Grogu or Baby Yoda for those of you who watch Star Wars. And when you're in Google image search, you got to click on tools, color, and black and white. The laser does a really good job with black and white, especially with something like this where it's line art. If it's a photograph, it's going to do an okay job. It's not that great with photographs at all. So find artwork that has bold lines. Something like this would be absolutely perfect if I could find. This is so cute. I wonder if this would work. So I'm very curious about this. But something more along the lines of it has to be straight up like black line work. Like anything like all the smudges on here, that would not engrave well. So line work like this. So I could even type in like line art. And there we go. Now we get even better results. So I want to actually keep it even simpler than that. So I want this picture right here. So what you'll do then is once you've selected a photo, hover over the photo, right click on it and open the image in a new tab. If it does that and it shows you the photo, then you're at a good starting point. Then you know that you can copy it. So you're going to right click, copy image, go back to Inkscape, and you can press Control V or click edit and then paste. Now the photo is going to be whatever size it is. It could be a much smaller photo, it could be a much larger photo than this. Either way, what you want to do is click on the photo and you're going to move it so that you can see one of the corners, either the left corner or the top right corner. And you're going to want to hold down, I believe, Control, and grab a corner and move it so that it fits inside of the workplace, the work surface here. So that's what we want. So again, let me try a different picture so you can kind of see what I mean. So for example, like let's say this one. Right click, open image in new tab. If it does that, we're good. We're going to copy image. So right click, copy image. Go to Inkscape. Right click, paste. See how it was already like going to fit inside of the work space here. The canvas, it's called a canvas. All right, so our next step is we're going to make a coaster. Now coasters have a very specific size. It's usually about 3.5 to 4 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that rectangle tool and we're going to draw a rectangle. Now my rectangle turned out to be red. Yours might be any of the other colors down here. Either way, what you're going to do is you're going to leave it selected. If you accidentally clicked off somewhere else, that's fine. Click on the selector tool here and then click on your rectangle or your square. And then at the bottom here, you're going to click on this X. And then you're going to move your mouse to the red. And on your mouse, you got to use the mouse for this. You're going to right click, set stroke. Okay, and that is a good starting point for the coaster shape. You're going to notice there should be, when the square is selected, you're going to notice width and a height here. So we're going to highlight the height and we're going to say 3.75, press enter, and the width here, 3.75, enter. Okay. Now click on the node tool. We don't want a coaster with sharp edges. So with the node tool selected, the top right corner, we're going to grab that, pull that down just a little bit so that we get a radius, like a little fillet. Okay, take your image, click on the selector tool and take your image, and you want that, you're going to hold down control and grab a corner. You want that to fit inside of here. Okay, and you're going to eyeball it for now. You're going to try and center it like that. If you paste it in a second one, get rid of it. With the selector, you can click and drag to select both of those. And this is beginning to look like a coaster. So why did we make the outline red? When I just said a moment ago, the laser color does not print in color. It's just going to burn and cut. For the laser software, which you're not going to learn, that is something I'll do on the back end when I'm making your stuff. The red line indicates a cut line. The black colors indicate engrave. So it knows the difference. It'll know that red means cut and black means engrave. Now this is not finished. Click on your square, and then if you don't see this menu here, hopefully you do, you're going to click on the fill and stroke menu. If you don't see that, I think you should be able to, where is that? It should always just be there. If it's not there, it's going to be like in here. You'll see like the three little dots. Yeah. So fill and stroke, we want to click on stroke style. So find that. And then click on this menu and you want to set it to PT. Now the laser is very finicky, and I mean the laser software, it only likes cut lines that are 0.072 PT. So that's the magic number there, 0.072 PT. And then you press enter. And now you might not even be able to see that red line. But if you click on this button right here, zoom drawing, this button right here, you should be able to see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on screen here. And then your next step is to go to File, Save As, and I'm in my Pictures folder. And you're going to save this as Coaster 1 dash and your initials, and we're going to leave it as an SVG file. Okay, so that's the scalable vector graphic file. Click Save, and then you're going to email me that file, and then I will gladly show you the process of taking your file, putting it in a laser software, and then sending it to the laser. I'll walk you through that process, but we only have one computer for the laser and only one license for the laser software. So that's the main reason why you're not going to learn the laser software, because no one is going to be able to access the laser anyway without the one computer. And just from a safety standpoint, I don't want anyone using the laser on their own. It's a very dangerous tool. Fires have been set inside of it already, and it is worth it's as expensive as a car. It's $20,000 machine. So only I will be setting the laser software up and the laser and cutting the material. But I'll gladly walk you through it and show you, the process, and you can obviously watch your coaster being made. So if you get stuck with any of those steps, make sure you ask questions. This was hopefully straightforward and very simple for you. If you got super stuck on anything, make sure that you ask for help. But with that being said, go ahead and create whatever coaster you want to create. Make sure you have the sizes all set as shown, and good luck.